What's up, everybody? This is Public Speaking Profits, but this is also a special segment of Public Speaking Profits, the Odell Bazell Show. Now, you know that Public Speaking Profits is all about helping you boost your visibility, your credibility, and your profitability in your business using public speaking, using the media, using interviews, and all that great stuff. But the Odell Bazell Show is a specific segment where I interview amazing people doing amazing things in context. And by context, I mean within the lane that I am in. At Get Known Marketing, we have a simple philosophy. More people need to know you, but they need to be the right people, and that's where we come in. We help you generate more leads and meet with more of your ideal clients than any other service-based opportunity. Now, if you're interested in generating more leads, just reach out to me and my team by clicking the link below or somewhere in this description back to your regularly scheduled programming. And I am here with the one and only Dar Mayweather, my guy. I've known him for years. We are represented by the same college speaking agency. Shout out to For College for Life. And I have been for a while. So I'm not going to give any outlandish bios or anything like that. We want to hop straight into the content. But Dar, first tell the people how you feeling, man.
I feel great. This has been a year of discovery. I'm super excited to be able to share how I've been sharing this work with folks, right, who want to speak, but also folks who just want to learn about inclusion, about leadership. I'm happy to be here with the great Odell. Like, I got a chance to be on a call, on a podcast, on an interview. I get interviewed by the man. This is great, man. I'm excited.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, one thing about Dar that you all will come to learn, and for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the link in the description. Gives you more information about who Dar is and why he's amazing. But I tell people this all the time. I'm going to say it publicly so Dar can see my face and feel my energy when I say this. I am not a DEI expert. I get booked for DEI talks, but it's because I frame it around communication and leadership. But I am not a DEI expert. Dar, however, is a DEI expert, and what he does specifically, and why I wanted to have him on the show, is he helps educators and he helps people around education use their expertise to get paid, either if it's DEI, if it's leadership, whatever your particular expertise is. So Dar, talk about how you got into the speaking space in the first place.
I'm going to even get more specific than that. Folks who do diversity work should be getting paid to speak in their community.
Oh, hold on. You said that a little. I just want to emphasize that because it's important, especially for people that look like this. Say it again.
So folks who do diversity work specifically should be getting paid to do this work in their community, right? Their community needs their voice, their position, their perspective on whatever DEI related work they're doing. The work is so vast and it's still so young. There's so much opportunity for many people to be able to jump in. You consider me a DEI expert. I don't know if I consider myself a DEI expert. I'm somebody who volunteered. When I was working at the University of Michigan, I was a hall director and they were looking for people to teach RAs about diversity. And when you look around the room and you don't see anybody like you kind of raise your hand, it kind of feels like the pressure, especially the new guy. And so I rose my hand, did that for 4 years for free. And that was kind of the launch to my speaking career. Cause I'm like, yo, if I can do this and people are requesting to be in my classes, people are requesting to kind of have conversations with me deeper, it's building my career, right? Outside of being a hall director, I had opportunities to be able to create curriculum for multiple spaces on campus. So when you're good at your work, you don't get less work. For diversity folks who are good at it, they get called upon a lot. And so you should be thinking about how can you monetize some of those conversations and calls. Yeah, I'll help folks do that. And then I think I try to do that in a very 3-step, simple perspective. So it's TLC. I kind of like to call it TLC.
Tender love and care. T-Boz left eye and chili, tender love and care.
I mean, a little bit, right? Because, we need to give ourselves a little tender love and care. Our bank accounts need a little tender love and care. The children, you're a family person, right? Like, you need to give tender love and care. And that happens through our ability to create profits. And so what I like to call is TLC. So talent leads to traffic. List leads to leads, and then content leads to conversations that convert clients. And so folks follow that process, 3 steps. It'll help them see themselves a whole lot more valuable to a community that they can serve and be able to make, maybe a little couple dollars, right? A couple dollars.
I want to ask this really quick for
Yeah.
those watching, Dar, because you said something that, well, before when we were talking about you were a hall director at University of Michigan, you raised your hand, you volunteered to do it for whatever reason. Usually it's because people that do this type of work have a heart for it.
Yeah.
So what do you say to the person that I just want to serve my people? I don't want to fool with the money part of it. What do you say to that person?
Do you got kids? If you got kids, then maybe, because the reality is, like, I only have a certain amount of time a day, right? And I want to be a good husband. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. I want to be at least average to okay homeowner, right? Like, I don't put Christmas lights up and all that, but maybe I'm going to find a shortcut, right? Like, put the little Grinch that stole Christmas up, and then and then that's it, because he stole all the lights. Maybe that's all I do, right? but I think for the folks who all about service, I think it's important to think about how you're serving yourself, especially coming out of a pandemic, coming out of a space where we had a lot of time to be by ourselves, with ourselves. What I found is, or what even people found, is that we don't take care of ourselves enough. And I think that transcends into our ability to talk about how much money we're bringing into our families, our abilities to be able to take our families on trips, our abilities to be able to show our loved ones that we value what they value that might have monetary value. And so I think those things are important. Me as a husband and father, my wife decided in the pandemic that she was going to resign. So she joined the Great Resignation. On my base salary as a faculty member, that's not enough, right? And for her to have the confidence to be able to take care of our 1-year-old son from birth, being at home, that is an experience that she was able to have because we have a business. And, we've even taken it deeper, right? Like, for folks of color, folks from marginalized communities, this is how we build community. This is how they've always built community, is around serving the community through their business. And so you won't have a Black Wall Street. I mean, I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, which was a majority Black town at one point in time. And that was ran by Black folks who had businesses. We forget the historical piece around owning our own stuff, because that creates leverage and power beyond just our bank accounts and education and politics and hospitals and, of course, community agencies. We build power by building finance.
Ooh, man, you saying a lot. You're saying a lot. And I think, man, to echo the point home for people that have a block, not wanting to charge or whatnot, it's really an internal battle that you have to overcome, because there are a lot of people making money from things that they love. There's a lot of people making money from ways that they serve. And for those of you that are thinking maybe, well, if I'm charging, then they won't hire me. What you have to understand, and we talk about it more on our channel, we talk about it more on our podcast, what you have to understand is, if somebody can't pay you, you're telling them no. When you tell somebody no and they're asking you to do something, you actually have the power now. So if somebody comes to me and says, Odell, I need you to speak for $1,000, I'm not going to do it. But I have speakers that I train. I have other people that I can refer you to. So we're still keeping it in the family. So by you saying, oh, I'm going to charge for this now, you open up more opportunity for other people.
Yep.
And so that's why it's really critical. Don't be afraid to charge. And Dar, you do something. And I remember asking another one of my friends and colleagues that works in DEI. This was years ago. This was, I want to say 2017, 2016, somewhere around there. I said, is DEI too crowded now? Are there too many people talking about it? Dar, what do you say to that?
It's not enough people talking about it. It's not
talk about
enough. The reality of this thing is, like, I think about the White Privilege Knapsack, written by Peggy McIntosh, which was one of the first white race related activities, documents that was adopted really by education. And that was written in like the 60s and 70s. And so That's not that long ago, right? We got institutions that we work for that have been existing since the 1800s, and they don't even get this stuff right. And so we need to recognize, like, we are in a place in space where folks are saying that this is a part of their vision, they're about their values. It's on websites. They make sure that they get the 5 or 6 folks of color for the marketing, for the pictures. Right, they make sure they do that, but they need more. And I think when we recognize that we're leaders in this space, then we see that it's not about us. So like us not charging is our fears, placing them on other people. When you recognize it's not about you, when you start charging, you then open the door, like you said, for other folks who do amazing work to say, no, this is how much my work is valued at. And so I don't go into these conversations with the idea that it's going to be free. If you want free, you can look at my videos, Facebook, YouTube. I got a freemium right on my website where you can download, you can get multiple activities to help you actually do the work that I do. So I believe that it's important for us to give away our best stuff. I don't like activities that I give away in my free book online, right? So doingthegoodwork.com/free ebook or free book. You can get the activities that I use in actual presentations and programs that I get paid for with your community. Now, if you want to present it in the way that I do, understand the formula in which to get people engaged in these conversations without a lot of conflict, pay me. Let's talk. Let me coach you. Let me help you. But I think we do ourselves and all of the people behind us a disservice when we make it about us.
That's powerful and that's facts. And we'll link that in the description on YouTube. And if you're watching or listening to the podcast, we'll have that in the show notes as well. And so, Dar, when you're talking to people about diversity, equity, inclusion, this is just a question that I have, and hopefully it'll help people that are watching or listening get over this. There's always going to be people in organizations that don't care. What do you say to those people? What do you say to the people that are going into the work and there's going to be a heckler, if you will, in this context? There's going to be somebody that's sitting there with their arms crossed like, oh, here we go again. What do you say to the people that are going to be experiencing that?
Odell, I'm in therapy about this right now, okay? Like, this is...
if it's too fresh, don't worry about it. If it's too fresh.
I'm not great at this. What has been said to me is when you're great, people always don't want to acknowledge that. And so you have the heckler because they don't want to acknowledge your greatness for whatever reason. It could be because skin color, because how you show up. I'm an outwardly person and I'm very confident, and I work with and teach my work to a lot of folks who are not people of color, right? Many of them probably are struggling with their confidence and they've never seen a Black man show up like that. And so that to them, that can come off as boastful. It can come off as arrogant. What I have to do, and I have been learning to do, is to just not care. Right? Like, they don't care. I don't care. So that equals a positive, right? 2 negatives equal a positive, right? So I'm trying to get that in my head. I think from a business perspective, you only focus on people who are focused on you. You don't see Gerber Baby showing up on college campuses giving out baby food. That's not who they're focused on. You know what I mean? And I think oftentimes what we are trying to do is especially in our businesses, we're trying to sell baby food to grown-up and per se. You're trying to sell a product to somebody that don't want it, that don't need it, that don't care about it. And then you get frustrated because your business isn't growing or you're not getting the opportunities that you want. But the reality is you're not going out and serving the people who actually eat that food. You're just not. I'm thankful I got trained from, the amazing Dr. Eric Thomas and his team to really help me think about and get narrow focused, right, on who I actually serve. And I recognize that is folks in university settings. And for me, I'm also a faculty member, my work alongside with my business go in the same direction. I'm not pulling myself from my business to go to work. I'm not pulling myself from my work to go do my business. It's the same. For me, it's not a conflict of interest because I'm serving through conferences, through keynotes, through the thing that my industry, right, as a faculty member, they want us to do. And it grows the brand of the university as well. It speaks to the amazing work and the amazing talent that we have within the community of the university. For folks who are thinking in that way, like get out your own way and don't get in the way of people who don't care. Like they only going to slow you down. They're only going to make you feel smaller than your greatness. They're not going to pour into you in the ways that people who need you will, because they don't see you as talented. They don't see you as gifted. They don't see you as a person that's needed. I just had a demo conversation with a potential client, and they were looking at their phone the whole time. And so I'm like, I'll never talk to them again. And that's fine, right? We agree that this is not good partnership. And so let's move forward. Let's move on.
Absolutely. And here's one thing that's helped me as we're closing this, and I hope you're getting some value from this on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell for more renditions of the Odell Bazell Show. And if you are on our podcast, make sure that you leave a comment about the amazing conversation that we've been having. But one thing I wanted to touch on, Dar, before we let you go, is it's critical in any line of work, but specifically in the type of work that we're talking about in DEI, that you look for the one. I think a lot of times we are trying to look for everybody to have some sort of consensus in what we actually do and what we talk about, to whereas just look at the one. And I tell people whenever I do give talks, I say, hey, there are going to be some things that I say today that you're going to be like, oh yeah, Odell, I'm with you 100%. I am 1,000% with you. There are going to be other things that you'll be like, I don't know about that. Then there are going to be others of you that are like, I don't like the way this guy thinks. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
Yep.
And you have to understand that there's one person or two people that are going to come to you and say, oh my gosh, thank you. This helped me, blah, blah, blah. Look for that person. Find that person. And if you focus on one, then the other people, to Dar's point, don't matter. And if you've been paid to be brought in, make sure you let your client know, look, this isn't going to be something that everybody's just going to, this is delicious. Like, everybody's not going to take it in like that. And so when you do diversity, equity, and inclusion type of work, you have to know that there's always going to be that heckler. There's always going to be that person that doesn't care. That's always going to be that closeted bigot or racist or somebody that doesn't understand why they're even in there. Focus on the one that's going to carry everybody further. So Dar, I want to end with this. What is one thing that you've learned from me that has helped you in your business? I know, just one. Just one.
That's a good question. Going back to the TLC, I think you were one of the persons who kind of helped me see that you need to be, if you want to speak, you need to be talented at speaking. You need to build and develop your talent in your speaking space. And one thing that I think I underestimated was I was living off talent, and it was underdeveloped talent. And now that I see how much important it is to invest into me, invest into coaching, invest into programs that are going to help me, give me the information, it becomes talent that then becomes developed talent. And developed talent gets traffic, right? So the TLC, that's what I believe, right? So the developed talent gets traffic. I don't have to worry about opportunities when people know about my work and they know I'm talented at it. I think that's where people go wrong, is they think too hard about how to be on Facebook and how to be on LinkedIn, how to be on Instagram, how to be on YouTube, when you're not thinking about how to develop your talent to get traffic. It should be organic. It should feel like you're waiting, but then once you get that one person to reach out to you, you know you did it and built it off the talent that you have, not off of all the posts that you did on social media. That's good. It doesn't lead to conversion, right? We all know this.
It doesn't lead to conversions if you're not good. I think that's a huge point. That's a critical point that I don't want people to get lost in. Any marketing that you might learn about, any marketing that people teach about in the speaking space, the best marketing is a great speech. That's the best marketing. And a great speech comes from a great presenter. Be super talented. Dar, if somebody is watching this or somebody's listening to this, what is a good way to connect with you?
Yep. If you think that I can help you understand the TLCs of your business, doingthegoodwork.com/DEA-waitlist. Let's connect. I'll be launching a new program, Diversity Leader to Diversity Speaker, teaching you all about the mechanics of speaking. Let's connect.
I love it. You heard it here first. Dar Mayweather on the Odell Bazell Show, brought to you by the Public Speaking Profits podcast. And I can't wait to see you at the top, not from the top. Take care.